Let's discuss this further. With us now is Republican strategist Michael Singleton and CNN opinion contributor Sophia Nelson. Good to see you both. Michael, let me start with you. I'm not sure if you saw our correspondent Harry Enton's piece there, but let's say you're one of these other campaigns. You're looking at the 51% lead that Trump has nationally. Okay, that still leaves about half of the GOP electorate. With 5 days left until New Hampshire, what are you doing?
I mean, look, if I'm advising Nikki Haley, let's just use her as the example here. The first thing that I'm going to do is conduct a national voter profile specifically on Super Tuesday. So I'm looking at New Hampshire. These are more moderate-leaning, independent-leaning Republican voters. We got to have a strong second there. Then you fast forward to South Carolina, the former governor's home state. We need to at least not lose by anything more than 15 points. Then you fast forward to the first week of March, where you have states like California, Massachusetts, where you do see a similar voter profile as New Hampshire. If the governor can at least win several of those states come Super Tuesday, she'll still be behind mathematically, but it'll still give her the argument to make that she can still compete in some additional states. But again, as Harry Enton pointed out, the math just does not exist because all of the other states to follow after New Hampshire are very similar to Iowa, where Donald Trump dominates.
As some might say, the math just isn't quite mathing just yet. Sophia, let me bring you in here. There is some new reporting that some voters in New Hampshire are disappointed that Haley seems to be taking direct questions less from voters. Her camp denies this. But Sophia, your thoughts about this strategy? I mean, if she is prone to these moments when she's asked about race, might this be the safest thing for her to do?
I think two things. One, I think Nikki Haley is running for vice president and for the nomination to be Trump's VP. I've always believed that. And I think that the reason she's not taking questions is because she keeps getting herself in trouble on these questions around race or reproductive freedom and issues that in a national election for her with females will be problematic, and with people of color, of which she is one, and she's not leaned into that, Rahel. She's backed away from it. I also think that New Hampshire is where Nikki Haley becomes John McCain in 2000. You remember that? He pulled off the upset there. He won because of those moderates and those independents that can vote if you're undeclared or if you're a Republican moderate. But I think South Carolina is where her campaign dies, just like with John McCain. And if you recall, it got very nasty in South Carolina. The race card was pulled on John McCain because of his adopted daughter who's of color. And I think Nikki Haley's in for a rough ride. So she's running for VP, so she wants to be careful and she doesn't want to tick Trump off or his base, but she's trying to do this kabuki dance, and I don't think she's doing it very well.
Marco, let's actually stick with South Carolina for a moment. Obviously, DeSantis seems to be prioritizing that state, really presenting or trying to present a challenge to Nikki Haley on her home turf. If he can eke out a second place finish like he did in Iowa, how does that change things, if at all, for his campaign?
I mean, the fundamental problem for Ron DeSantis is that most of his voters are likely to vote for Donald Trump. And so let's say that Donald Trump wins New Hampshire, then you move on to South Carolina. DeSantis is obviously more likely to place second in South Carolina than Nikki Haley, again, because of that idea of the voter profile and where those voters register. If we're looking at like an ideological line, most of them are further to the right than the voters in New Hampshire who are more centrist leaning. And so again, the DeSantis camp has to have the recognition that if Trump dominates in the first two states, his likely voters are going to look at that and beg the question, is it worth voting for someone who we know doesn't have a chance going forward, or should we move over to the Trump camp? I think most of those voters are going to move over to Trump. I spent a significant amount of time in South Carolina in 2016. Every single county in that state registered for Trump 60, 70, 80% compared to someone like a Ted Cruz, who was also favored by evangelicals at the time.
Sophia, let's turn to the Democrats really quickly before I let you guys go. Vice President Kamala Harris appearing on The View yesterday, and she had this to say when she was asked if she was scared about what would happen if Trump were to win the presidency again. And this is what she said. Take a listen.
I am scared as heck. Yeah. Which is why I'm traveling our country. You know, there's an old saying that there are only two ways to run for office, either without an opponent or scared. So on all of those points, yes, we should all be scared.
So, Sophia, when you have the vice president on national TV saying she's scared as heck, what type of message do you think it sends to voters? What are they trying to message here?
I think what she means is she's not afraid of him per se, but she's afraid of what's happening to our country, the rhetoric, the divisions, our freedoms being taken away, limited, book banning, all the things she went through in detail, talking about race and how Nikki Haley, again, has bumbled that time and time again, rewriting history. I think that's what she what she's trying to say to the American people. And what she's saying is we all ought to be afraid about what happens if this guy becomes president. So we're going to run hard. We're going to run like we're the underdogs, and we're going to work really hard to win this election. I think that's what she's trying to say.
Sophia Nelson, Michael Singleton, good to see you both. Thank you.